We stay focused on the day's main story, the deaths of young UPSC aspirants Tanya Soni, Shreya Yadav and Nevin Delvin due to flooding in the basement of a coaching centre in Delhi's old Rajendra Nagar area has exposed the criminal nexus and negligence by authorities in charge of governance as well as flood management in the national capital. Now, amid the blame game between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP over the coaching centre horror, Times Now has now access to a series of letters written by the Delhi Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Vinay Kumar Saxena, right from the year 2023 to the Delhi Chief Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, as well as other top authorities, highlighting the immediate need to put emergency flood response mechanisms in place to ensure people do not suffer. We're now taking you through the letters one by one on our plasma screen. The first letter was in fact written on the 11th of March 2023. Now, this was written to the Delhi Chief Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, and the Lieutenant Governor in this particular letter that we managed to access had highlighted, and we've highlighted the portions here, the important operative portions from the letter here on the right side of your screen. He highlighted grave dereliction as well as criminal neglect of the Wazirabad water treatment plant, where he spoke about the corroded pipelines of the plant and requested immediate action. So that's the letter that's gone from the Delhi Lieutenant Governor to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal in March 2023 as well. There are a series of letters, at least 3 of them, that we managed to access. Let me in fact go across immediately to Meenakshi, my colleague, who will take us through the operative content of these letters that have gone from the LG's office to the Delhi Chief Minister as well as other senior authorities in the Delhi government. Yes, over to you, Meenakshi.
Well, absolutely, Siddharth. So you were taking us through the synopsis of these letters, the key takeaways. These are extremely important because this is a letter trail rather, which no other channel has. Letter trail which literally decimates the claims which the Aam Aadmi Party has been making. Now, what do we have? We have 6 letters, as many as 6 letters, which was written by the LG in over 400 days or so. Now, letter number 1, which is what we'll be focusing on, he's written a letter to the authorities where he has spoken very, very categorically and very clearly about the Wazirabad water treatment plant. It is, when he spoke about this particular plant, he also highlighted how there was dereliction, there was complete negligence on the part of the authorities. Now, he says, and I quote him verbatim, "I happen to chance upon the grave dereliction and criminal neglect of the WTP, that is the Wazirabad treatment plant in the Pondage area, which as it turned out is resulting in total avoidable water shortage." In fact, he goes on to talk about the biggest issue, which is the lack of desilting. Remember, why is desilting so important? Because Aam Aadmi Party also has been using this particular issue, saying that desilting is not being done by the central government of babus who come under the LG. Now, LG says, no, that's not true. He says it's an astonishing is the fact that despite a contract for desilting be there in the past and in place, which was as early as October 2013, no desilting whatsoever has taken place since 30th June 2018. He says the DGB has been informed as well. Then he goes on to say and highlight how the work of desilting has been stopped for a long time. And finally, if you take a look at the big questions which the LG had posed also, because they're also very important to highlight. Now, he says, what kind of water is being supplied to the people of Delhi? What's the quality? Aren't we playing with the health of the life of the people? And this is a letter. Look, he's written this letter, the LG, Vinay Kumar Saxena, written the letter to the Chief Secretary. Just as you were mentioning, letter written to senior officials and also to the Delhi Chief Minister. This is another letter which was written by the LG. Now, this is written to the MHA. Also, what needs to be highlighted here is the date when this letter was written. All these letters we are speaking of, Siddharth, at the moment were written in 2023. That means the issue was highlighted as early as 2023, yet there was no action taken. Now, in this letter, LG writes to the Home Minister and he says, "मैं इस पत्र के माध्यम से आपका ध्यान राष्ट्रीय राजधानी क्षेत्र दिल्ली में पेयजल की समस्या पे करना चाहता हूं। एंड देन फाइनली ही गोज ऑन टू से दैट इस संबंध में मैंने मुख्यमंत्री दिल्ली को अपने पत्र दिस पर्टिकुलर डेट विच इज मार्च 2023 को दिए हैं। सो देन ही गोज ऑन टू से दैट हाउ he has flagged these issues to the Delhi chief minister. He has written to the top officials, yet no action has been taken. These are the two letters which we are highlighting at the moment, Siddharth, written in 2023.
Right. Thanks for that, Meenakshi. But do stay with us. Of course, there are more letters that we managed to access that you'll take us through. But in the meanwhile, let me also go across to Akanksha, my colleague. Akanksha, there's been a very intensive blame game that we witnessed between the Aam Aadmi Party as well as the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Aam Aadmi Party in this particular instance has been passing the buck completely to the LG. It's also been saying that officials are not following the instructions that we've been giving. However, all that appears to now be contradicted through some of these letters that we managed to access, where of course the LG had red flagged serious concerns with respect to lack of desilting in Delhi, among other serious issues, which had led to flooding during the last year's monsoons. A lot of those problems continue to remain unaddressed, Akanksha.
See, Siddharth, one thing remains clear is that the agency that was concerned with the drainage as well as desilting was PWD, MCD as well as Delhi Jal Board. All of that comes under Aam Aadmi Party. But as you also said, they are dodging their responsibility, the accountability, and are in fact passing the buck on to the previous dispensation of MCD that was with the Bharatiya Janata Party, and also on to the bureaucrats, saying that they did not take any action. But we, as Meenakshi is also showing, we have several letters that goes on to show that in fact the Lieutenant Governor was again and again flagging these issues that in fact last month on 28th of June they had in fact said that remaining desilting work of all drains to be undertaken by the concerned agency over the next 1 week. That means desilting should have been done in the first week of July. Another letter goes on to show that in fact no meeting was actually done over such an issue regarding desilting or drainage. But now we're seeing a war of words between Bharatiya Janata Party and Aam Aadmi Party. Bharatiya Janata Party did protest today. They are saying that this is in fact a murder, and they are seeking resignation of Atishi as well as the local MLA here, and also strong action from the MCD. But let me firstly, Siddharth, show you the scenes at this outside Rouse IS study circle where the incident took place. A lot of students have gathered here. They are demanding action. BJP is demanding action. But clearly the responsibility lies with the MCD, PWD, Jal Board and all the Aam Aadmi Party ministers, which right now are passing the buck, are not taking accountability for this incident that has cost the life of 3 young UPSC aspirants.
Right, Akanksha, thanks for that update from right outside where the tragedy unfolded. Let's in fact take you through some of the other letters also that we managed to access. All these are correspondences that have gone out from the LG's office to the Delhi Chief Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, as well as other senior officials. Now, my colleague Meenakshi already took you through the letter that had been sent by the LG's office to the Delhi Chief Minister on the 11th of March 2023. We have some more letters that we'd like to now show you. Now, when action wasn't taken in that regard, the Lieutenant Governor wrote to the Home Ministry and appraised the Home Ministry about the grave issues he found after visiting the plant. This is the Wazirabad, the water treatment plant that we are speaking of. Here's a snapshot of that letter and some of the highlighted portions that we're also showing you on screen. The Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena told the Home Ministry that Aam Aadmi Party's attitude towards the issue of water is ignorant. Now, these letters were written in 2023 to Arvind Kejriwal as recently as the 28th of June as well, 2024, that is last month, where the LG wrote to the Delhi Government Chief Secretary, Mr. Naresh Kumar, and highlighted that he took note of the lack of preparedness of the monsoons as well. Now, the emergency response to issues of waterlogging is not in place is another matter that he highlighted. Some of the other issues that he's highlighted is the remaining desilting works of drains must be undertaken. Now, the Lieutenant Governor also highlighted that that's something that we just pointed out, that the debris along the drains must also be undertaken on an emergency basis as well. Now, the Lieutenant Governor also wrote a letter to the Home Ministry to highlight utter lack of responsibility as well on the part of Aam Aadmi Party ministers in Delhi when it's about handling the flood situation. Now, these are some of the highlighted portions that the Delhi Chief Minister, no action has been taken till date despite heavy waterlogging. This is on the 3rd of July. 2024, we're just talking about something that happened earlier this month. The letter before that was on the 28th of June this year, and two other letters written in March 2023 as well as July 2023. Let me go across immediately to Meenakshi, who's already taken us through some of the operative portions of these letters. So Meenakshi, at least two letters written in 2023, a couple more in June and July 2024 about repeated inaction on the part of the state government authorities in the national capital.
Well, absolutely, Siddharth, and we have taken our viewers, in great details through each and every letter which was written by the LG office. You spoke about two letters, one which was written to the MHA, which we had elucidated on earlier. Let's now talk about the letter where he had highlighted the discrepancies, and this is where the LG said, and this is a operative part extremely significant which needs to be highlighted, where he says, and I quote, remaining desilting work of all trains to be undertaken by all concerned agency or an emergent basis over the next 1 week. And let's take a look at the date when this letter was written. This was written in 2024, and here the LG says that you need to do the desilting work. It needs to be undertaken at the earliest, and it needs to be done within a week. So even a timeline was set, and he says debris along the drain need to be removed immediately. All kind of obstruction and free flow of water in open drains need to be removed. So who is it who did not do the desilting work? Because the MCD also at the moment is being ruled not by the BJP. So on what basis is the AAP making all these allegations? And this moot point which the LG office also highlighting as to how he had said that the desilting of drains needs to be done over a month ago, yet there was no action which was taken. Back to you.
Right, thanks a lot for that, Meenakshi. So, detailed list of correspondence from the Lieutenant Governor's office, Mr. Vinay Kumar Saxena's office, to senior authorities within the Delhi government, including the Chief Minister himself. At least two letters written in 2023. Remember, this is in the build-up to the unprecedented flooding that Delhi witnessed with the onset of rains last year, where the Delhi Lieutenant Governor, in fact, pointed out towards lapses as well as inaction on the part of the Aam Aadmi Party and the government. Subsequently, of course, two other letters followed in 2024 as well, where serious red flags had been raised by the Lieutenant Governor's office that continue to remain, in his view, unaddressed on the part of the MCD, which is, of course, under the control of the Aam Aadmi Party, and also the state government led by the Aam Aadmi Party as well. So this is, of course, coming at a time when there's been serious buck passing, so to speak, between the Aam Aadmi Party as well as the BJP. The Aam Aadmi Party has been saying that it's not received the requisite support that it requires from the LG's office, and that bureaucrats coming under its control have been openly flouting instructions that are being passed on, that it is actually helpless given the current state of affairs. That has now been completely demolished, that particular argument, as well as contradicted by these letters as well, which points towards red flags having been raised in the past and yet no action being taken by the authorities responsible for the situation here in the national capital. So will accountability be fixed? That's the big question that still remains unanswered. And can the Aam Aadmi Party continue to shirk responsibility in this extremely pressing case? 3 lives have been lost. The Delhi BJP has in fact called it a man-made disaster. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party has been shifting the blame, as we told you, on top Indian Administrative Service officers over the issue of desilting as well as waterlogging in the national capital. The Delhi Minister, Mr. Saurabh Bhardwaj, has said that on the 6th of February had issued the first notice to convene a meeting of all senior officials, including MCD officers, over the issue of desilting. But IAS officials, including Naresh Kumar, did not attend that meeting. That's the complaint on the part of the Aam Aadmi Party.
डीसिल्टिंग को लेके मैंने सभी विभागों की मीटिंग पहली बार बुलाने के लिए 6 फरवरी को सर्दियों में उसका नोटिस निकाला था 6 फरवरी को, और इसके अंदर मैंने बुलाया मुख्य सचिव को नरेश कुमार, वाइस चेयरमैन डीडीए को, कमिश्नर एमसीडी को, सीईओ जल बोर्ड को, प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी पीडब्ल्यूडी को, प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी इरिगेशन फ्लड कंट्रोल जो आशीष कुंद्रा है, जो आज की तारीख में एलजी के प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी हैं, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर दिल्ली मेट्रो वगैरह वगैरह। और ये मीटिंग 13 तारीख को की। आपको जान के हैरानी होगी, इस मीटिंग के अंदर इतने सारे आईएएस अधिकारियों को बुलाया गया, इंक्लूडिंग मिस्टर नरेश कुमार। नॉट इवन वन आईएएस ऑफिसर टर्न्ड अप। ये सीरियसनेस है।